Okay, we will continue with the drawing example. We are going to create two sheets. One is the assembly sheet and the other one is a little bit bigger, but we have inserted all the sheets, all the parts into this sheet. This is the second sheet that we are going to make. Let's start from the first one. We open a new part, new, and this I will just use ISO IDV drawing template. I just create with this. For the first sheet, we have an assembly and also we are going to have an assembly and we are going to also have the exploded view parts here. I will just use, I'm not going to edit sheet, I'm going to use the A3 sheet. You can also adjust this A3 size and you can adjust the other side. The second sheet will be A2 or A1. It depends on us. Probably the A1 because we have many parts to just present on that sheet side. I will just cut. We need the first thing, the base view, and I will just go and find my valve assembly, which is this one. I have this part. I can just increase the scale from here or from this point. You adjusting the scale to 1 to 2 or 1 to 1. I'm going to use 1 to 1. At this point, I will just create an exploded view around this area. Also, I will just create a part list at this point. Here, let's start. We have the view here, but I'm going to make a sectional cut by using a sketch. I will just make a breakout section, which is here, you can see. But for this, first I have to define which sections are to be cut off. I will just select and create a sketch, which I will just engage the sketch to this view. And I will select all the parts because I'm going to make a full partial cut here. And I will get a breakout, select the view, and just go somewhere at the midpoint. Okay. We just make the sectional cutout like this. Also, we will just also I have some missing parts. I'm going to just correct my part faults at this point. Again, I will just go to annotate. I need a part list. From this annotate menu, I will just go to part list and select my view, which I will just have this one. This is the warning, which is the bill of material view is just created uh, for in order to get the part view side part list. We have just approved this. Okay, have this one. These are the parts which we have. You can also adjust with the double click. We can adjust the part list items from the column chooser. We can just delete the description. We do not need so, but I need some important properties, which is the material and the mass properties to be displayed. And I would like to have the quantity after the part number. For this, I will use these two buttons in order to play and change the order in the table here. I will just, as you see, we have masses around this point. We can adjust our table so we can just make the adjustments like this, and we will just stick to this point. I'm going to make the smaller at this point. Yes. Then I will just create the auto balloon. I'll select balloons to be on this view. Select every component. We have three stages: the view stage here, the component stage, and also we have a placement, which is this time it is in the vertical order like this, which is this one. You can also adjust your balloons as you wish. You can adjust selecting the center points attached to this, like this. You can see we can leave it as it is. Okay. I save my file. Well, yes to all. The next thing, what I'm going to do is I will just create the saving an exploded view. From this base view, I will find my exploded view file, which is this one. And also no snapshots view. For this reason, I will just go to, again, open and create a snapshot, which is on the storyboard. Have this view, create a snapshot in order to use in the technical drawing. Just save, make this one closed. Again, base view, I will just go open the valve, and you can make this one enlarged. You can make the other side small, like this. You can also give the component balloons by manual use, which is this one, again, this one, this. We can have these tools. First stick to this one, then have the same alignment. This one, same alignment. This one, same alignment. I will create we will just have these two views and save the part file. For the second sheet, we just go to this features window. I will just create a new sheet, and I will just change this sheet size from the edit sheet and make this enlarged to A1. This is a double multiplication of the A3. I save this file, but before this one I will do the same one thing to change this style editor, because we are going to make too many files and I would like to have the same styles which have these in this style dimension style. Okay, from this point please enlarge the dimension to select the default ISO, change the decimal marker from comma to period, increase the precision of linear dimension into 3 digits, and just uncheck leading zeros and the trailing zeros. Also for the tolerance, linear tolerance through 3-digit, angular precision is also 3-digit. And save and close. Let's start the part drawings. First of all, I would just like to have the body part views. We have an update button. I will just update to get all parts updated. The first thing I need the valve body here. In the valve body we have, I will just make this one smaller, and we have top view, and we also have left view. But okay, I have just created. From this view I do not want to see the hidden lines on each side. I will just, this is my base view. If I just close the hidden lines in this view, I will also close the other lines which are derived from this view. For this, we have two missing things, and at this point I would like to just complete this one. In the model, I'll just change. This is the material which we have increased. We have a chamfer missing at this point. Also, we have this sectional cut. Some faults. It must be just connected to each other, these two sections. For this, I'll just correct these two items. The first thing, I'm just going to make an revolve cut at this point with 45 degrees. For this, I'm just going to open the XY plane, visible, start a new sketch on XY plane. I'll just draw a triangle like this. Just make the trims, and we have an equal dimension here. This one equals to this one, and the one here we have 2 mm. As you see, it just goes, and I just pull this up to this point. Here I'm going to make this line stick to the projection of this line. I will just stick this edge projection. I do not need these parts, but I need this projection. I will just convert these lines to construction. Also this line. I will again make these lines. Okay. I will just make coincident this line on this point, this line again at this point. Also, I need an axis to revolve around it. I use this origin, make this one center line. It is not important. It can be just another ordinary line. Finish this. Have the revolve tool. Select this profile inside. Select the revolving axis and make the cut with OK. We just chamfer, make the chamfer around this axis. We make these cut sections which are seen here. Okay. The next thing what I'm going to do is do the same thing on the other hexagonal bracket. For this one, I will use the same sketch. This time with F7 tool, I will just make the mirror on the other side. For this, I'm going to use the origin point and copy the sketch to the other side by using the mirror tool. I use the mirror tool, select this line, and this line, and choose the mirror line, apply with done, finish my sketch, and double click to get the profile which I have recently created. Okay, this time also I'm going to cut at this point, which is like this. This is the point I'm going to make. The next thing, what I'm going to do is, we have a fold in the sectional view. As you see, this portion is connected to this body part, but my part is not connected. I will search the fold where I have that made that extrusion. This extrusion, probably, yes. This extrusion, I have the missing part and I'm going to complete the missing part. I will just enter this sketch. Also, I have that body part inserted, but I didn't select in this extrusion that body part. I will select. I have just chosen 5 profiles. Again, go in this view, select the next profile here. As you see, this is the profile for one side. This is the profile on this side. Also, I will do the same extrusion to the other side as well. Again, the 5 profiles, select this portion as well to complete that profile. Okay, as you see, we have just made this missing part. Okay, now I have completed. We have also another profile mistake. I'm not going to correct in this example. Okay, I will save my part file and turn back to the view. Now, okay, this just warns me the part here, some parts are changed and I would like to have to confirm in order to continue. As you see, we have made these parts here. Okay, the next thing. What I'm going to do is, I will just add the axis part, and before this one, I need a sectional breakout view. For this, I need to create a new sketch, which is attached to this view. Start the sketch, select the view, to see it is highlighted, and select draw a rectangle which covers all the part. Select the breakout, select this view, and select the depth of the part. I have just select the midpoint which you see in green color. I have just made this one. Okay. We also have the threaded views. For this, please be sure that to have the threads shown in, it must be in display options with double click in the view, in your view. The threaded feature must be checked. Okay. Also, I need some axis. From this one, I will just go to annotate and have the axis lines with escape. I will just enlarge. Also, for the horizontal axes, I'm just going to make these enlarged. For these parts, I need big center lines. Also, for the top view, I need a big center line, and I will just pull the line ends to have these out. From this point, I need to bring the dimensions first. I will just go to Retrieve Model Annotations and first select the view here. As you see, we have just brought some dimensions, also other dimensions. If you have also other dimensions which we have seen at this point. Okay, then escape. I will just delete the unnecessary dimensions here. This one is also I do not need. Also, I do not need this dimension and this dimension because it's symmetrical. Also, I do not need this dimension. These thread dimensions, we will just give other dimensions. I need this one. For here, it is better to keep on the top side or here. It doesn't matter to us. I would like to have this 35 millimeters, not in this side. I would like to have at this point, which is 25. Okay. I would like to have this view. Also, I do not need this one. I need 4 millimeters, 14 millimeters, 3 millimeters, which are 8 on the back side. I will just delete and add manual. This is the 8 one. I will go. Also, I have the 4 one. Sorry. I think it is not seen. Can I have this dimension? Yes. Okay. Also, the dimensions here I have inside 12 for the whole dimension here. I'll just make. I not need at this point. Also, I do not need this dimension as well. Okay. Here we have also the same dimensions, but I need to show the thread dimensions, which is this one first. the other two dimensions which are on the sideways. Okay, okay. Again, whole, thread, this is metric. We can use the same dimensions. What is missing here is I would like to just imply two dimensions, which is one is this one. It is not important, but this dimension is not shown here. When I just have this tool, it is not shown. For this reason, I would like to create our own, and we have that dimension. We only need this wall thickness dimension if we have so. This one. I'm sorry. It is not seen. Okay, anyway. The biggest dimension here is these two dimensions, which is this one, also, which is this one. Okay. So far, we have all the dimensions which we have used in the modeling. And after this one, we will just create a sketch to define all the way here, all the part borders. Start anew in this sheet. And I will just highlight this view like this. Like this, and escape. We trimmed this and change this line style from the right click properties. Change this line click properties with this one. Also, I would like to insert a text to define the part number. This is the part 1 of body. Okay, to this one. We can also increase the text size. Let's say it is 7, 8, like this. I can also play with these line dimensions. Okay. When I have to create another part border, part view border, I will use and edit this sketch. Okay. The next thing, we have the second body part here. I will just again start a new base view. This time I have the bonnet, and this bonnet I will just make the scale a little bit larger, which is 2 to 1. Two sides of its real size, 2 to 1. Okay. We can also make much more bigger, less, 3 to 1. 3 to 3 to 1. This is the 3 scale to 1. Here I do not have any section. I will do this with the breakout section. For this I need a sketch, stick to this view. Again I just create a rectangle, have the breakout section, and insert this breakout view, something like this. And I will just close the hidden line visibilities like this. I will just start a line, axis line, which is here. I will just make copy for 1, the part 2 bonnet, part 2 bonnet, part here. Okay. In this part, assemblies, we do not have to specify too many tolerances at this part. We can just give one example by giving the part tolerance here. I will just retrieve the model dimensions and I will just erase these dimensions and make the adjustments. As you see, we have 13, the whole here, this whole dimension. I will just make this distribution to outside here like this. I will just like to use 1 millimeter. I will just arrange the dimensions with the logical, and I would like to have to keep the dimensions outside, try to keep the dimensions outside of the part here. For this 32, I'm sorry, I'm going to change this dimension with metric thread designation, and I think it is done. I would like to just make a logical layout about these dimensions. Okay, the next thing I'm just going to delete the whole, which is this one, the metric one, with escape. You can just edit this dimension, double click. Okay, anyway, we can have this thread designation. We have another thread which is 18 on the top side. Okay, save the part file here. For the tolerances, we will just go to fit tolerances, which is this one, especially here. We have just made these limits and fits, which to have this one. This is a whole dimension. Limits and fits. We have the 8. We will just show these limits and fits by this. Okay, this is the bonnet part. We will just jump to number 3, which is the cap knot. At this point, I'm going to just create a new sketch, new part, view. This is number 3. I'll just create this one. Also, I'll create a projection view, and I would like to have this projection view. I will just remove the hidden lines first. I want to keep, I do not want to see, I'm sorry, I would like to just turn this one and also change the other side. I have this view and this view. I would like to have a sectional view with breakout. I will just create a new sketch, finish this one, have a breakout. This view I would like to just cut, and I would like to select the whole, which is this one, or 2 point, which is this point. I would like to have for this one. I would like to engage the hidden lines to see the whole feature, to cut this whole, which is this one, and I will have this view. For this, I'm going to make the hidden lines removed, and I will just create the annotation, whole axis. I would like to keep the dimensions. We do not have too many dimensions. I would like to just keep this one, and this whole I would like to show on the other side, other view. For this I will just erase, delete the total here, the length. Also I would like to give the whole 5 dimension. I would like to keep this one. Also we have a missing dimension here, and I'm going to start the sketch on this one. As you see, start sketch, and we need to just stick to this point with dimension 28, which is at this point, as you see here. Okay, for the part representation, I will just create another rectangle to separate the view from each other. I add this to this sketch, that property. Again, I enlarge a little bit and make this one, copy, paste it somewhere here. Yes, the part number gland tightening knot. I'll just write part 3 gland knot. We can have the second line on the second line to yes. For the fourth one, again, I just create a base view, select the gland. This time I will just make the 1 to 1. It's a small part, I think. Yes, 2 to 1, it will be enough. 2 to 1, it will be enough, as you see. Again, I just draw the borders, but this time first make the sectional cutout, then bring the dimensions. I again start the sketch on this view, have a breakout view, and select the midpoint to have the sectional cut. I will just omit the hidden lines here. Again, the axis line. I retrieve the model dimensions and arrange the dimensions which are shown in the technical drawing. You can adjust the dimensions. I'm sorry. This one. I will enlarge the part boundary, part view boundary, something like this. I'll just make it smaller. Copy with Control, with Shift, Control V, and I will just change this definition, which is the number 4 gland. I will just double click number 4 gland. I will just delete the second line. Okay, this is the part we have. This is the part we have. Save the part file. The 5, number 5, the sleeve, which is on the bottom side. I'm sorry, number 5, number 5. This one. I'll just again start a new base view, get the part 5. We are doing the same thing again and again in the technical drawing. 2 to 1 again. I think it will be enough for this scale. Let's make it a little bit bigger. 3 to 1, let's say. Okay, again, start a new sketch attached to this view to have the breakout. Select all the sections. Finish my sketch. Have the breakout. Select the view. We have the software automatically grabs the area to be cut at. The depth point, I will just select the midpoint of it. I will ignore the hidden lines, and also I will just go annotate, and this time I'm not interested. I will just adjust the lines. This time I'm not interested in diameter 15. I'm interested in this thread representation, which is metric 15 here. Also, I'll just enlarge, and this I'll just make a little bit smaller representation of the view. Double click to have a part view boundary. Finish this one and have this one copy to this point, which is number 5. It is a sleeve. With escape, I'm not interested in this one. With part number 5, with sleeve. Just delete. But okay. Again, start a new part. This is the number 6 here, the color one, which is on the bottom side. This one, this view here. I will just go start a new view, number 6 color. I'll just make increase 1 scale something like this. I think it's enough. And I will again make a sectional cut here. Again, start a new sketch. Attach to this view. Ignore. Get this view again. the rectangle, have the breakout, select the view, select the depth of this view at this point. With double click, I ignore the hidden lines. Annotation again. I extend the line. Retrieve the model dimensions. I ignore the thread lengths. I will just bring the thread information from the hole and thread pull out. Make this one. For this, it is the same thing, metric 15 and metric 4 for this part. As you see. Also, same thing. For the border, I'm just going to shape a new border. Let's have the same height here. I will just pull this view a little bit down and copy the description of the part, paste here, and change it to part 6, the color. Okay. The number 7, as I have told before, we have only noted in the assembly and it is an empty part. We haven't modeled this number 7. For this, I will just go to the sheet 1 first of all, and I have the 7. As you see, we do not have part 7 at this point because we cannot do, yes, we have the 7 here also, but it is only just shown. We can just make this one stick to somewhere else as you wish. Okay. You can move to upside, or you can just manually change this item like this one. You can manually change this item with the normal balloon section like this. Continue, and with double click you can change the item number or override this one, which is 7, like this. Okay, I will just take this back and move this one and override this balloon to 7. Okay. Okay, the next page. We have the 8 this time. We have this shaft part. We only have a partial section at this point. We do the same thing, but this time we are not going to cover all the parts here. I will just use this area to have the part 8 screw, which is this wheel. I will just rotate as I have seen here. Okay, delete this one. Yes, go to this point, start a new sketch, attach to this one. I will only like to just make a cut section with breakout. For here, I'll get this and select this point. The next thing I create an axis line. Also, I need to create a new sketch on this face in order to have shown this cross, which represents the square sections. Okay, like this. Also, I would like to have that dimension, this portion here. I would like to add a special symbol, which is the square here. Now, I have to define this portion square dimension. I have this view, the broad. I'm not interested in this. Also, in this thread dimensions, I'll just make adjustments. I will add those dimensions by the hole and thread designation. I have just erased this one. If you want, you can just double click and add text with home button and add this one also. You can also have this. It's up to you. If you want, you can use this one. If you want, you can have a leader box too. Again, we have 4mm, and I'm not interested in this 4mm. And at this point, I have a threaded length, which is metric 4mm first of all. Then I will have another threaded dimension at this point, which is 12. Also, I have another, but this time I do not have any whole dimension. I'll just go and add these dimensions by manually, which is hole depth. The first one is the thread depth, thread length. These are the lengths. I will add the part sketch border. This. Finish my sketch. Get the copy of this tool, paste, change its name to part 8. This is the part 8, and part 8 stem with scribe. But this time, this is only stem. We have the scribe in this one, not with the stem. Save the part file, drawing. We have two views left. The valve seat, which is a normal washer. I will just create a washer, which is screw sleeve. This is a small part. I'll just turn this one and have this 2:1. The scale is too much. Let's go 3:1, a little bit bigger. And I'll just create this view at this point. Start the dimensioning. First, the axis line, which is this one I'm interested in, like this, the part 10, the sleeve. I will just bring the dimensions. We only have 2 dimensions. We have threaded inside. I'm not interested in this one. I will just add metric thread designation. Again, with the double click, I just create a part, view border, and get copy, paste, which is part 10 with screw sleeve. This is part 10, screw sleeve. Just erase this. Okay. I'll just okay. Just screw sleeve. I have two parts left. One is valve seat. I'll just create quickly about this one. Base valve screw sleeve, which is valve seat, valve seat, valve seat, valve seat. Yes, part 10, 11. I have this one. Let's make it a little bit small, 2 to 1, let's say 2 to 1 scale with the side projection, because I would like to, I have to show, and I create a part boundary, finish my sketch, I add one axis and one axis for other view, I again bring these dimensions, also this dimension, and these are the dimensions. Also, we only have the hand wheel left, which is this one. I'll just, I'm sorry, again, I'll use the hand wheel, change the direction here, which is this one. Oh, this time I made a sectional view to show you. For this, again, I need another sketch. We have a knife at this point, and we will define with the knife path by the sketch. For this, I need to just pass through this midpoint, the origin point. I have a line, arbitrary line, but it is perpendicular, or it has a horizontal vertical constraint. I would like to just engage coincident constraint, this line to this point with the line here. I will just close, have this section, select this line, and get the view here. You see, we have a sectional cut. I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller, 1 to 1, let's say. Yes. With double click, I need the part boundary, part definition, copy, paste, again, control copy, paste, which is the number 13, and wheel with OK. Okay, the next thing we have the AI section. Most our dimensions will come from this view. We add these views, thickness of this arm, Also, I'm going to make the other views. Let's say this one. This is the 14. Also these lines. You can also create sectional view cutout by having these two dimensions like this. You can also give with this one, with the home tool, you just go to this point and add, and I'll just delete this dimension, and I'll give that dimension on this here. Ignore 65. Okay. Again, I'll add a big. So I just add this one and this one with lines. Okay, these are the lines which we have. Okay, we made mostly of our parts and we have the drawings. Also, I would like to show you one example. I would like to give the datum axis and straightness tolerance for the stem part with the geometrical tolerances. I have the datum axis, let's say this one. I would like to just define this axis as datum axis, and I would like to just make a straightness to this axis with the straightness. Right click, continue, and I can just change the straightness. I do not need any datum reference, which is 1% straightness. Also, I would like to add a runout tolerance to the other side because I do not want any runout on this section. I can also use this dimension to use same point like this and have the runout tolerance, which is 1% again. This time it is about a datum point here. We have many options that we can just create, but that's all for this week example. For this one, we are going to export a PDF file for our part drawings to the folder which we are working in. This will be your exam part drawing file. See you in next class. Thanks for listening.